Happiness. What is happiness? For a long time now, I've asked myself the same question. I took a dictionary and there I read a definition, but it was only symbols and terminology. Then I tried to go to the root of the word, only to find out that, as roots tend to do, she wanted happiness blocked down and well planted in a story. But I think she flies as a fairy, tiny and shiny, that leaves behind a hazy trail of stardust that flies to doors and windows wide open, towards those open arms that are certain to get a hug. I think it is uncomfortable with what is closed, and that therefore she knows how to get through the open gaps that we don't even notice. Like mouths and eyes wide open in wonder, they become unaware in ways. For the fairy, she will gladly cross, jumping between suspended breaths, bestowing a gift of disbelief and wonder. I believe that music and dance are the best friends of happiness. I see her play with the words of the song you're singing. I see her meeting notes in midair and saw them meet each other magically, letting them vibrate together as harmony. It is she who teaches us the rhythm that makes you want to dance and run wild. She inspires us to throw away all worries, all sadness, and all pain. So that then, with our arms to the sky, we are ready to touch a bit of a star. But this fairy is not only music and fanfare. I think she loves the silence as well, and in its peace, she lulls us. I think she reaches us easily when we are immersed completely into our freedom to feel with every sensation when we perceive her. With every contact with the world, we realize that she is there.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of.
But how can we see her? For that, I think we need a new perspective and maybe a couple of good eyes, good enough to see in life what is invisible.
I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn.
We need the logic of a child, governed by rules, rigid and yet made of rubber, immovable, but constantly moved, always and only in the service of imagination. It's the imagination that can show us happiness, like a pair of special glasses carried in a special way. She allows us to change what we do not like, even in ourselves. Then we can become fantastic creatures, or great heroes, ready to save the world. Or pirates devoted to the heart of adventure.
It's silent in early morning.
Or simply whatever our heart desires. Because the closer we'll be to the image of us that lies in our heart, the easier we can bring happiness in. I admit it. I have a better idea now. But I feel that, in order to understand what happiness is, something is still missing. But what is it? Or maybe who? Yeah, because I know now that you could not find complete happiness alone. You need help, a wonderful help, the most famous of all the treasures. You need a friend. A friend that you create with magic, necessary for the fairy to exist. A friend who knows how to play. A friend who can console you. But more than anything else, a friend who knows how to make you laugh. In fact, legend has it that the laughter of the first child was so strong and beautiful that it exploded into magic dust that fell on the world. And it is from that dust that the fairies were born. And now and forever they bring smiles everywhere, because it's in that smile that happiness is at its peak. Because, let's face it, what would we do if we could not smile? Maybe now I understand. Maybe the happiness I was looking for was not so far away. Because I had already known her, only then I was distracted, carried away by problems, anxieties, by the fears of the world, and by the fear that this fairy, in the end, was not even real. That she was just a useless dream, a whim of someone who didn't want to grow up. But now I thought, I understand. It was not an illusion. The fairy exists. And I did know her. And to understand her, one doesn't need to reach her, but to find her again. Because she's always been there in places too close, and images all too familiar. The ones that, for some reason, each time you look at them, light up a warmth inside of you. She is all those fairy tales that we know by heart, and that transport us every time to that magical place where we are safe, where we can do good, and where we all end up living happily ever after. And so, do you understand then what is happiness? Happiness is love, nothing else.